לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, מסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני, כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו, לכל העמים נפלאותיו, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד.
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We'll do that again. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom Aleichem, 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 Shalom Aleichem. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom. Our cantor is under the weather. It's a good thing I have my fourth graders here to help me lead services tonight. Of course, I have all of you too. Thank you for starting our service with so much spirit, with ruach and joy as we welcome Shabbat. In this week's Torah portion, Tetzaveh, the Israelites are in the middle of receiving instructions regarding how to build the tabernacle, the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary they will take with them through their wanderings in the wilderness. Our opening verse commands that we bring clear oil of beaten olives in order to light the eternal light, le'olot ner tamid. That same light is kindled, at least symbolically, in every Jewish congregation in the world, wherever we build our synagogues and our temples, however big and fancy or modest, an eternal light burns. And we have it right up there. But here's the thing. The priests are technically commanded to light the lamp, not to light the lamp, but rather le'olot, to raise it up. So the physical light, raised high, can actually be seen as symbolic, metaphorical light that we are all required to shine in our community and in our world eternally, forever. It's a pretty big task, but it's moments like this Shabbat, beautifully prepared by our fourth grade students from our Beit Midrash, making their Ner Tamids shine, that brings our light out as well. And so we'll begin our service on page 3 with lights as we light our Shabbos candles. And it's my pleasure to welcome up Katie Berenberg and her daughter Sophie to lead us in the blessing.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Turn with me to page 17 as we continue to welcome Shabbat with song from Psalm 99, that final verse on the bottom, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, exult Adonai our God. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'char kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'char kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavnu l'har kodsho. Page 20, we'll sing Lachado D, welcoming our Sabbath bride. We'll sing verses 1 and 2, 5 and 9. And when we get to that last verse, Ba'iva Shalom, I'll give you the signal. We'll rise as a congregation. We turn to face the entrance of our sanctuary to welcome that Sabbath bride, beckoning her to enter. Whether you're joining us here in the Wolf Sanctuary, joining us from your own sacred space, wherever that is, please sing. We need your voice and your spirit to make Shabbat feel real. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor achad. Hishmianu elam yuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shemo tiferet belitina. Lechadodi lekakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi lekakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'lecha. Ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh b'kedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila. Lechadodi lekakala yalalai yalalai yalalai. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoni likakalai, Elanai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva ore kumiori, Uri, Shidaveri, Kevona Donai, Alai Knigla, Lechadoni Likakalai, Elanai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoni Likakalai, Elanai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Bo'yim v'shalom, atarat ba'alam, gam besimcha u'b'toholam, toch emunei am segulam, bo'ikala, lechadoni likakalai, Elanai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoni likakalai, Elanai, 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 Bnei Shabbat nekabela. Now turn to everyone around you. Say Shabbat Shalom. Let them know you're glad they're here. And we will continue with Chatzi Kaddish on page 26 as we remain standing through the Shema. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'amad yivrach Yerutei ve'amlik malchutai, B'chayechon u'b'yom echon, u'b'chayedecha ben Yisrael. B'agala, b'agala, u'b'yizman karim, v'yemeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam olam ve'homaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitrama v'yitnasei, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei nechuresha berichu, le'ela min kol birchata, v'shirata, tushmechata v'nechemata, zamira me'alma, v'yimeru, Amen. As we turn to page 28, I invite our fourth graders up to the bima to help me lead the Baruch Hu and Mari Baravi. We're going to face them. We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim on page 30.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivarot ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteh she'arim, v'vuna eshaneh itim, u'ma'ariv et ha'chalanim, u'mechader et ha'chalanim, v'mitehem le'arger kirtzonam.
On the top of page 33, we all read together. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. If we have third graders, fifth graders, sixth graders who want to join us up on the bima for Shema, second graders are good too. Shema and V'ahavta, please come up and join us. What I do? On the bima, you may be seated. Bima, you got to stay standing. And we're going to chant the V'ahavta, everyone together on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. on the top of page 39. Let's all read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught forever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40, Micha Mocha. I was jumping from the on beat to the off beats just to keep you on your toes. It's good. ונאמר כי פרעון על יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. We sing Hashkivenu tonight. You can find the words, both the Hebrew transliteration and the English, for the Dan Nichols setting, reminding us of our prayers for peace, not only out there in the world, but in our own lives, in our own homes, in our own communities. Sing with me if you know it. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomrenu, L'chaim. Let's sing that together again. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, L'hamidenu shomrenu, L'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomrenu, L'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu shomrenu, page 44, V'shamru. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם וביום השביעי שבת באי נפש שבת באי נפש שבת באי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית העולם. We rise now for the Amidah on page 46. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha Adonai open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, V'Mel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ברופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומן המלך מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלה Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. On the top of page 55, we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat, on page 57. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. On page 59, on the bottom, we read together. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at your feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulecha Na'et Lehodot. And on page 61, we share together in our prayer for peace. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We're going to take a few moments of silence for our own personal prayers, and then I'll give the signal to all our students, and they'll come back up to share help me sing Oseh Shalom. And as I invite them up, we're actually going to turn to page 253 and share in our prayer of healing, Mishaberach. If there's someone in your family, someone in your heart, on your mind in need of healing, I invite you to think about them now. Close your eyes if you wish. Whisper their names out loud. We sing together our prayer for healing, strengthened to join our prayers together. Sing with me. Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha lehimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha Third, fourth, fifth, sixth graders, come on up. Second, join me. Page 62, we're going to sing Oseh Shalom.
I didn't do it. What page?
Page 62, 6-2.
We have to go all the way back.
You know what words
Do I?
You guys ready?
Yes.
Oseh Shalom Imrama. Oseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael.
All the way back there.
So in addition to the command to lift up the lights in the tabernacle and the Mishkan, our Torah portion Tetzaveh also has a lot of details about what the high priests are supposed to be wearing, both their clothing and the accoutrement, the breastplate and the ephod and all these different things that are supposed to be worn by the priest when they do their holy sacrifices to God. And there's a question about why does the priest have to have so much stuff on them when they're doing the work? And most of our rabbis would say there are two reasons. One is so that the people, when they see the priests in all their splendor doing their work, they'll get a sense of holiness and know that this work is specifically for God. But it's also, say the commentaries, so that the priests, when they put on the weight of these garments, they don't think that they're so important. They understand that their job, the reason they're wearing those clothes, is not to be important, but because their job is to serve God too, right? So I have a story somewhat related that I think hopefully you will like. It's called The Royal Test. The king of Morocco leaned closer to get a better look at the crystal ball. "Are you sure that's what it means?" he said doubtfully, squinting and pressing his nose against the glass. "I don't see my prime minister leaving me. All I see is a little old beggar carrying a sack on his back." "What?" The fortune teller grabbed her crystal ball and peered into it. "That was no little old beggar," she said as she wiped it with a corner of her veil. "That was just a smudge from your nose." The king shook his head as if he hadn't heard her. "Why would my trusted prime minister leave me for what? To join the circus?" "Alakazam, alakazoo, that's what the crystal ball is telling you," the fortune teller intoned mysteriously. The king rubbed his eyes and stared into that crystal ball again. Finally, he gave up and sat back in his chair. "And I'm supposed to find a new prime minister by holding a contest? Isn't that what you said?" "No, not I, Your Highness," the fortune teller cried. "I am not telling you to do anything. The future," she paused dramatically, "the future has spoken." She blew out her candles and whisked the crystal ball under her veil, making it seem as if it had disappeared. The king, who was always amazed at her special effects, dropped a purse bulging with gold into her outstretched hand. The people of Morocco were used to hearing odd pronouncements from their ruler. So the next day, when the king announced that he would choose a new prime minister by a contest of strength, no one was surprised. No one, that is, except the old prime minister. "But your highness, I am not a trapeze artist," the poor man cried, stamping his foot. "I am not going to run away and join the circus." The king regarded him with pity. "You don't think so now, but you will soon. The future has spoken," he said, thinking of the crystal ball. "Are you really going to replace me by holding a contest?" he whined. Now, don't you worry about it, old man. Circus life is wonderful. The excitement, the travel, and just think all the peanuts you can eat. Now, enough talk. Go and get representatives from every community and bring them here so that I may choose the strongest. "What should the contestants bring with them, your highness?" the prime minister asked. "Weights? Dumbbells?" "No," the king growled. "I already have one dumbbell, thank you very much. Just bring the people and a bowl of pepper, obviously." "Obviously," the prime minister echoed in a flat voice. The next morning, the town square was packed with contestants and spectators, everyone wanting to see the magnificent displays of strength. But there was just one problem. There was no representative from the Jewish community. The crowd grew restless until finally a slight man with a bald head elbowed his way across the square. "I'm here to compete," he announced in a timid voice when he finally stood before the king. "I, Joshua, will represent the Jewish people." At first, the audience stared silently at this whisper of a man. Then someone began to giggle, before a long laughter rippled across the square. "Why, this man can barely lift his own feet to walk," voices from the crowd taunted. "This ought to be funny." But Joshua did not appear to notice the insults, and the king merely nodded, and so the royal test began. The first contestant had flaming red hair and stood nearly 7 feet tall. "Your Highness, I am ready," she said proudly, rolling up her sleeves. "What would you like me to lift? Your throne, perhaps? With you still sitting in it?" The audience roared with delight, but the king frowned. "How barbaric," he said. "No, I don't want you to lift anything. Don't you understand? I need to find a new prime minister, not a furniture mover. I'm not talking about that kind of strength, muscle brain. I'm talking about character." The tall woman looked confused. "You still don't understand, do you?" said the king. "In order to find someone to help govern the kingdom, I need to find someone who can govern him or herself. Someone who won't have a temper tantrum at the drop of a hat. Someone who won't burst into tears because of hurt feelings. Someone who won't crack under pressure. Someone who can take a deep whiff of this bowl of pepper and not sneeze. Think you can do it?" The tall woman nodded uncertainly. She stepped forward, lowered her face to the bowl, took a deep breath. Her face slowly turned as red as her hair as she wavered, and then, achoo! Her sneeze blasted the king right off his throne. The next contestant was a man whose muscles bulged under his clothes. He put his face up to the bowl. He breathed in only the tiniest of breaths. After a long moment, he began to sway slightly. The king asked, "Are you all right?" But it was too late. The muscular man had barely nodded before he fainted gracefully into the king's lap. And so it went. All afternoon, as the sun began to set, the strongest men and women in Morocco had coughed and sneezed and wheezed and gasped their way to defeat. Now there was only one contestant left. Who do you think it was? Joshua, that's right. You got it. "Do you understand the rules?" the king asked in a tired voice. "I think so," Joshua answered quickly. "Bowl, pepper, no sneeze." "Very well then," the king said, waving a hand dismissively. "Get on with it." Joshua put his face up to the bowl. He inhaled the pepper deeply and stood up straight, facing the crowd. His eyes were watery, his bald head shone with sweat, and his nose twitched like a rabbit's. He opened his mouth, threw his head back, And he sang. Eliyahu Hanavi. He began softly, then stronger. Eliyahu Hatishabi. Eliyahu. Eliyahu. Eliyahu Hagiladi. Best Eliyahu ever. The king jumped to his feet and hugged Joshua. Truly, here is a man who can control himself, the king exclaimed. Not only did he not sneeze, but he was able to sing through it all too. This is the person I need to make my prime minister. The crowd roared its approval, with the spectators from the Jewish community cheering the loudest. They had never heard Eliyahu Hanavi sung with quite so many achus, but no one else needed to know that. So tell me, the king asked Joshua as he led him back to the palace, what song were you singing anyway? Oh, that, Joshua answered after he blew his nose loudly. It's a famous song about the prophet Elijah. Eliyahu is his name in Hebrew. He lived a long time ago, but Jews believe that he still helps people when they need it. Like me, just now, he wanders around dressed like a little old beggar. The king of Morocco stroked his chin. Little old beggar. There was something familiar about that idea, but he couldn't for the life of him think what it was. No matter, he thought. He had finally found a prime minister who would serve him well. He didn't need a crystal ball to see that. So Joshua wasn't wearing fancy clothes like the priests, right? But he understood that to be a good leader is not only what's on the outside, it's what's in the inside, both in our brains and our hearts. At that moment, he called upon his Jewish tradition to help him and see him through. Just like the priests in Tetzaveh, when they put on all of their fancy ornaments, they were able to call on their tradition to do what was right too. I do not suggest that you try to breathe in a bowl of pepper. It could be pretty uncomfortable. But if ever you need to sing Eliyahu Hanavi, I think you know. It's the song to save us all. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with the concluding portion of our service. Alinu is on page 283. Please rise. Alinu l'shameach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא שם חלקנו לייחד את שמו, וגוהר עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, page 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo You may be seated. We turn to page 289 for Memorial Meditation number 3 by Rabbi Chaim Stern. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of life and light. On this Shabbat, we remember and consecrate the yard sites observed in our congregation this week of Ann Barshop, Bertha Bayman, Albert Burgle, Esther Berman, Jake Blend, Ed Block, Alan Brightman, Marvin Brody, Thurman Brown, Deborah Dreyer Klutz, Robert Diamond, Jane Engel, Sydney A. Fetter, Marilyn Friedman, Ann Frieden, Kate Young Friedman, Irving Bernard Frost, Abe Gans, Irma Garza, Bobby Gilraith, Aaron Golden, Dora Kleinsmith Goodman, Robert Greenberg, Sam Greenberg, Ken Gregory, Mary Elizabeth Harris, Charles William Hayes, Frederick Josephson, Morris Callison, William Kotlikoff, Melvin Kowalski, Ben Crandall, Daniel L. Laser, Fanny Barkin Lee, Sam Lewis, Leroy McKenna, Kathy Manger, Louis L. Michael, Dorothy Miller, Norman Netter, Bernard Newberg, Bonnie Place, Dorothy Winkler Porterfield, Flora Roomberg, Jeanette Ruse, Morris J. Ruse, Sarah Ann Ruse, Diana Pearl Rosenberg, Herman Rubenstein, Michael E. Rubenstein, Al Rubin, Robert Rubin, Nettie Sachs, Lily Sandfield, Mim Sharlock, Dr. Sidney Schiffer, Jenny Schoenbaum, Sarah Goldstein Schwartz, Paul Simon, Sophie Simon, Herman Zvi Singer, Jane Smith, Sean Smith, Sadie Solomon, Emily Strauss, Jeanette M. Strauss, Simon Waxberg, Regina Weiss, and Beula Wolf. To their memories, we link the names of two who in the last 30 days, Shloshim, have been laid to their eternal rest. We remember Sally Sue Price Fisher and Sarah Carlin. And to their memories, we link the names of four who in this past week were laid to their rest. Their family is still observing a period of Shiva. We remember Joyce Efron, wife of Temple Beth-El member Eric Efron, sister of Lawrence Rukowski and aunt of Carly Rukowski-Katz. Lynn Jeffrey, aunt of Amy and Hank Strickland, great aunt of Robert Strickland and Emily Hill, Rebecca and Jason Seacrest, and great aunt of Cole and Ava Seacrest. We remember Helen Kerman, mother of Nathan and Carol Kerman and Sharon and Harry Teitelbaum, sister of Sonny and Janet Hirschman, grandmother of Carly and Mitchell Penner, Joey and Deborah Kerman, Lauren and Brian Silverstein, Melissa Stoller and Stephanie and Edwater Tickauer, great-grandmother of Mickey and Sawyer Penner, Seth Kerman, Sydney Penner, Jeremy Rohn, Jordan Rohn, Brinley Silverstein, Ethan Silverstein, and Joshua Tickauer, family friend of Marty and Renee Wender, and Jacqueline Ann Klein, daughter of Annette and Melvin Klein, sister of Jenna Klein, cousin to many, including Temple Beth-El members Margot Marbut and Marcy Marbut, aunt to many nieces and nephews. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for blessing, along with the memories of those we hold in our own hearts each and every day. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we rise as one congregation, turning to page 294 as we share in the words of the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'yizman karev v'yamru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam omei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha brechu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiram be'alma v'yamru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to all the world, to which we say, amen. You may be seated. It's my pleasure to call up Jason Miller Goodman to offer greetings and announcements on behalf of our Board of Trustees. Okay, I got my papers.
Welcome. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. There's a few other thank yous we want to give. First to Sisterhood for sponsoring the pre-Shabbat oneg. Thank you to Katie and Sophia for lighting our candles this evening. And thank you to all of our Hebrew school students who helped in services this evening. Y'all were great. There's some upcoming events here at Temple. The Community Blood Drive is going to be on Sunday, February 25th from 8 to 1. An appointment is required. There's a link in the weekly announcements. Our Purim Carnival is going to be happening soon, so you can be a sponsor in the carnival. The Purim Carnival is the largest fundraiser for youth programming at Temple. Funds raised will directly support the solid Jewish foundation our children experience here at Temple. From Sunday Fun Day to Safety, which is our 8th through 12th grade youth group, and all the meaningful life changes in between, this is such an important event for them. Hamantash and wristbands, raffle tickets, and more are available now. You can find sponsorship and order forms in the weekly email or by visiting the Temple website. We look forward to your participation in these enriching and community-building opportunities. For more information, please visit the upcoming events page of the Temple website. As a reminder, everything going on at Temple is listed on our website calendar and in our weekly email, which arrives in your inbox around 4 p.m. every Thursday. Shabbat Shalom.
Our closing song is going to be Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. It's on page 353. I am happy to invite up my 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders one more time to sing with me. I have been asked to remind our 4th graders that they should go to the Dreben Family Pavilion after services for a photo. Families are welcome to go into the Bar Shop Auditorium and get ready for our potluck Shabbos dinner. Please rise. On Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Me'al Kulam. On Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Me'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. On Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Me'al Kulam. On Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, on Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Me'al Kulam. Shabbat Shalom.